Hello everyone, and welcome to OWCS Korea. This is going to be covering week 3, which is a very interesting week. I wasn't expecting a lot, but as I didn't expect this, but Shion is like not hard meta, but very present in the meta. Like the first 2 weeks were kind of a wasteland. We didn't really have a meta. Like, yeah, Jetpack Cat was still around, Bastion was getting play, like a lot, but like a lot of characters were getting play. And now we've kind of settled, but it's settled around Shion. It's really interesting. Um, so yeah, that's what the meta kind of looked like. Like, there were a lot of picks. There's not like one hard meta like that. It's not dive. Shion's very flexible. She can play dive. She does okay in poke. She can act like a tracer that goes around and tries to get picks. But I think she is best in a dive-ish setting. But yeah, to start out with, we're going to go over some interesting things that happened during the week. First thing that happened, which was my game of the week, because it was the only one that went to. Oh no, sorry. My second favorite game this week was the one that we are watching, Poker Face versus Superbad. It was just a really interesting game. Like, as you can see by this first map, they didn't really play too close to each other. They kept switching it up, which was very nice to see. And it was just interesting. It went 5 maps and it went in Superbad's way, which was, yeah, it was fun. Sentier was MVP, which honestly pretty deserved. I think it could have gone to like Kane. Kane was pretty good, but sorry, no. Sorry, it's the other guy. Or Ascent, or honestly any of them. Like it was a really good game. All like the teams played pretty decently. Like I don't know. I think from what I have personally watched, this is like some of the best talent league down that I've seen. Like during past, there were teams that were just like not great. Like I think this is the first time that I've seen like it's a lot of any team can beat any team. Obviously, there's 2 tiers of that, but even though those tiers are slowly breaking down too, which is interesting. Um, to go over the games that happened, in the day one, kinda boring, I can't lie. It was Zanside versus Cheeseburger. I was expecting a banger here. Cheeseburger might have fallen off. They might have profited from beating up on the worst 2 teams during the first 2 weeks. Because I think Cheeseburger could be in that solid 7th spot. I don't think they're better than Zanside, and I don't really think they're better than OTB either. But it was an alright map. Kilo popped off, really. Claimed MVP in that game, and honestly, he's a really solid player. Like, I think the issue is that for the top 4 teams, Hitscan is pretty solidified there. Like Kilo's very good, but he's not better than Merit, he's not better than Proper, he's not better than Lip, and he's not better than Proud. So that's kind of tough, but like if you could transfer to like a NA or a EU team and definitely play really well there. Obviously, that is up to him, but just an observation. Um, in that next game was Falcons versus O2B. it's the same story that we've heard everywhere. Falcons dominate. Spite is insane. Spite is so crazy right now. Like, actually top two. Top two, and it's probably not two right now. He was insane. Team's just really solid right now. Yeah. And then the last game was T1 versus Crazy Raccoon. It was a very interesting match. I don't have too much to say. Like, it was a good watch. I think something that we do have to worry about is how heavy Sion will, like, how heavy meta Sion will be, because right now you can kinda get away with not playing her. But if, like, you can kinda get away with not playing her, but like you are inherently at a disadvantage. Um you just gotta be careful there. There's not much more you can say, you just gotta be careful there. Um if you can't play it, like, it's pretty scary, and I don't from what I saw, Zest wasn't the greatest on it. Um outside of that, that was the first day, and the first day wasn't bad. It was a good watch. It was a good cluster of games. There was only one 3-0, which is so nice because sometimes the games are 3-0 central. In the second day, which was by far the best day, there it started off with my this game right here, Poker Face versus Superbad. I went over it a little bit. I can go into slightly more detail. Poker Face are the worst team in the league right now, and it's really difficult to say why. Like, I think they just can't really conform to a meta properly, and their guys aren't the most flexible, which does suck. What I'm seeing is um the they did try to play Sion a little bit, and it just didn't work as well as other teams. And that's just really tough. You can't really plan around that, you know? It's like, yeah, characters are gonna get dropped mid-season, and you're not gonna be able to do anything about that. Sorry. But no, there were a lot of just really interesting things. Like, Sion's super interesting in the sense that we don't know where to play her. We don't know if the hit scan should play her or the flex DPS should play her. So, like for T1, for example, I personally think the flex DPS should play her, but I don't think Zest can, so they had to put Proud on him, and Zest went for the Sim, and it was interesting. Either way, back to the game. It was a really good game. I really liked the watch, even though the quality of the gameplay was slightly less, you know. And then game of the week was Zeta versus Zandside. This game was incredible. Oh my god. Proper is really good on this character. You know what? I was expecting that, but man, pretty damn good. Um, top of that, it was just a solid game all around. Like, Kilo was popping off. They brought out Void. He didn't look great. I feel really bad for him. But, like, they just really yeah, it was just like a really solid game. I don't know what to say really. Like, Zanside look like way better, like really punching above right now. Like, if T1 continue to struggle, I don't think Zanside faced him. I think they already faced him, which wait, let me see. Last week. Honestly, if T1 like get mental boomed by losing these close games to high teams, I could see them losing to Zanside. I'm not, guaranteeing that, but I could see him losing to Zanside. Um, I don't know. Zanside have a very interesting team. The 3 DPS is something. I don't think Probe's doing too much other than playing the Sion, which does work. Like, use what you got, But sometimes, especially in this quote unquote, like, meta's not the word, but in this, in this patch, you gotta be flexible. And if you're playing, like, because in the first map they played Pro Becky, and Becky is not a hit scan. So like you're like, okay, I gotta get off the Sion and go to a Sojourn. Well, that is an issue. Because you would just much rather have Kilo on that Sojourn. Sorry, I am back. In the 6th game was T1 versus Cheeseburger. What'd you expect? Crowd popped off. Game went good. Cheeseburger don't look great right now, to be honest. They they've started slipping, and obviously it's an unlucky break to. You don't expect them to do well against the best teams, but the fact that they lose to Zanside like that, really not a good look. Like, I don't think they were favored to win exactly, but like, you just hope you get a win, Like, they got talented players, like every team, honestly. Every team right now, like, they got talented players, but I don't think we will just have to see. The one thing I have to say is that this game was a nice breath of fresh air because neither team really prefers the Xion. Fuck. I'm gonna fuck that up for a little bit, but neither team likes playing the Xion. So not seeing that character was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Like, for a full game was really nice. And I'm dragging a little bit in this one. It was just really interesting set of games. For this last set, we had Falcons versus Superbad. Yeah, possibly the best team right now versus the worst team. Or second worst, whatever. Yeah, it wasn't good. Yeah, it wasn't good. Just complete domination from Falcons. It wasn't close at all. After that was Crazy Raccoon versus O2 Blast. This one was super interesting because coming out, O2 Blast looked good. On Oasis, they were solid. Like, they were getting trades. They were just not stomping, but they played super solid. But then, right, like, I don't know. Crazy Raccoon really like their long distance comps. And so they took them to circuit, and that really killed their momentum. And then after that, they just swept. But O2 Blast did show really good promise, and I think, yeah, just super interesting. Like, it was a really good game. I liked it. Lip was good. I like seeing Lip back in like a good form because I know he was struggling a little bit for a while, but he's back, and it's really nice to see that. The final game was Zeta versus Pokerface. This game sucked. Not sucked in the way that, it sucked because Zeta stomped, like, really hard. I'm a Zeta fan, but man, that wasn't fun to watch. Pokerface are definitely the worst team right now, and it's not close. But, yeah, that's the recap for the week. The only other thing I gotta say is the predictions for next week, which it's a big week, I'll tell you that much. To start off, where do we start? Probably the first game. It's gonna be Cheeseburger versus O2 Blast. I think Cheeseburger are really cooling down. I think it'll be a clean O2 Blast 3-0. Obviously, this is not as 3-0 heavy as it has been for the past few years, but I think this will be a clean sweep. I don't see Cheeseburgers really good, and O2 Blast needs their revenge game after getting stomped for 2 weeks. Next is Zeta versus Falcons. This is gonna be a great game. Yeah. I don't know. Like, this is tough. Because we haven't seen Zeta or Falcons play a top 4 team since week 2, and Zeta since week 1. So, it's really difficult to say. I think these teams have changed a lot, and it's been a meta shift. And I think I'll take Falcons in a 3-2. I think come playoff time, those will definitely flip. But for now, I think Falcons looks like a stronger team. Zeta looked a little bit shaky against Zanside. And we'll have to see. Next up, Superbad versus Zanside. I think Zanside sweep that. They look really they look really strong right now, I can't lie. After that, Pokerface gets swept by T1. Cheeseburger gets swept by Falcons, and Superbad gets swept by Crazy Raccoon. Honestly, I don't even need to tune in to day 2 there. It's gonna be 3 sweeps, which is good scheduling. And then the final day, kind of interesting, I guess. O2B versus Pokerface. It's gonna be a 3-0 for O2B. And the last 2 games are really interesting. Zanside versus T1, and Crazy Raccoon versus Zeta. I think to start off, I think it's super interesting how I think both these games are going to be really good. I think they're both going to end in 3-2. I think Zanside beats T1. I don't think Zanside is a better team than T1, but I think they have a better feel of the meta right now because it's in its early phases. We will have to see. This could be a huge overreaction, but I do think Zanside can take. Zanside definitely have a possibility of taking this one, and I'll predict the upset. And then the final game, Crazy Raccoon versus Zeta. Honestly, it's not that much more crazy of an upset, but I meant it's not as crazy as of an upset. But I think Zeta probably won this one. I think they have a really good feel on the meta right now, along with Zanside. And I think that Crazy Raccoon really don't. Like, they beat T1, which is like, yeah, they do not have a feel on the meta at all. And they dropped him after O2B. So I think Crazy Raccoon look at the most vulnerable they have all split, and I think they can definitely take this one. But I think it'll be a 3-2. I think it can really swing either way.
I'm a Zeta fan. I'm biased. I want them to win.
Either way, I know this was a longer one, but thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.